Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Eddie G, with another Photoshop tutorial. In this video, we're going to be looking at another text effect, and what we're going to be doing is showing you how to do an outline-only text right here in Photoshop to have your final document look just like this. Okay guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to do a stroke only or an outline effect on your text in Adobe Photoshop. So what I've got going is I've got a brand new document here in just the standard HD size of 1920 by 1080. So the first thing that we have to do to put the stroke only effect on the text is we have to have some text. So I'm just going to come over here and grab my text tool, and I'm just going to type out the word outline. Now, it's obviously set to white, so I'm just going to go ahead and double click on this and come over here and set my color to black. Now, we've got the word outline, but it's really small, so I'm just going to come over here and scale this up a bit so we can see it just a little bit better for this tutorial. There we go. Now we've got the word outline here centered up pretty good. So now it's just a black text right now that says outline. So how are we going to get it to just be outlined or a stroke only effect? So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to the text layer where it says outline, and we're going to double click out here in this free space. And we're going to come up here and we're going to give it a stroke. Now, obviously, I've got my stroke color text to white, so you actually can't see it right here. So I'm going to go ahead and change this, and let's change it just to a nice bright red so you can see the outline for this tutorial. Now we have a stroke on our text of outline, but the black outline of the interior of the text is actually still there. So we're going to get rid of that by going up to the layer style blending options. Now, under blending options, you've got the opacity right here. You want to leave that set to 100 because if we take the opacity down, you actually lose the opacity for all of the text. Right under blending options, there is another option called advanced blending, and it has one that says fill opacity. You want to take that down all the way to 0. Now you can see the black fill of the font of the text outline is gone, and all we're left is with the stroke only or the outline of this text. So we can come over here to stroke and we can change this around. We can do center, we can do inside, which I don't actually like. So we're just going to leave this set to center right now. So for all intents and purposes, I can click on OK, and this tutorial would actually be over because I just showed you how to do a stroke only or an outline effect on any text in Photoshop. But these tutorials would not be beneficial if I didn't show you a practical use for it. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to bring in a photograph of some fresh fruit. So let's say that you're creating this for a brand that you work with, or this is your fresh fruit that you're going to sell at a farmer's market, whatever. And you want to gussy it up just a bit with some text overlay. Obviously, the word outline is not going to work, and the color that we chose is not going to work. So we're going to come over here and grab our text tool, and we're going to delete the word outline, and we're just going to type in the word fresh. Now, obviously, the red still doesn't work in this instance. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and grab it, and we're going to center this up just a little bit. Now, here's the thing that you have to remember. If I come over here and I double click on the text layer to highlight my entire text, and I come up here and I change it to white, and go ahead and click on OK. Notice nothing happens. Why did nothing happen? Because we changed the color of the font and not the color of the stroke. If you remember, we took the font fill opacity down to 0. So it doesn't matter what color we change the font to because it's now at 0 or transparent, as you can see right through the word fresh. What you have to do is come over here and double click on the layer effect stroke. Come in here and change the color of the stroke in order to change that outline color. So I'm going to go ahead and set that to white. Now we have our fresh text with an outline of white, but I don't like the size of it, so I'm going to go ahead and resize this again to give it a little bit better look. Then I'm going to go ahead and center this up. Now I'm going to come back over here to my layer effects panel under stroke, and I've got it set to 20. My position is center, but we're going to check it out. We're going to go an outside. That looks pretty good. We can go to the inside. I don't like that look at all. I actually like the center stroke on this, and we're going to leave the opacity set to 100. So we can go ahead and leave it like that, or we can come in here and give it a little more pop, because you can see it's kind of flat looking and it's actually on the image itself and it's not giving any separation. So let's add a drop shadow to that. So we can come over here and we can mess with the drop shadows. We can do 100% opacity. We can take it down to 50%. I actually liked it about where it was, at about 90%. And I've liked my my angle set to 90. And you can come in here and mess with the distance. So how far do you want it away from the text? You know, how close do you want it to the text? I'm going to go with about 20 pixels. And the spread, again, you can come in here and mess with this until you get the look that you like. You can take it up a little bit. So how about I'm just going to match it and go with 20. And the size, I actually like the size at about 100%. And if you've watched any of my other tutorials, you know when I'm doing drop shadows, I like to set the blend mode to multiply. That's just a personal preference. You can set it to whatever you like. So I'm going to go ahead and click on OK. And now you can see, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to center my text up just a little bit more to give this a much better look on this document. So here we have our fresh text, outlined only. We've added a drop shadow to it to give it a little bit more depth, and this is a practical application of the stroke only effect in Adobe Photoshop.